And repeat after me. I do solemnly swear that as a member of this assembly, I will not propose or assent to any bill, vote, or resolution which shall appear to me injurious to the people, nor do nor consent to any act or thing whatever that shall have a tendency to lessen or abridge their rights and privileges as declared by the Constitution of this state, of the will in all things, to conduct myself as a faithful, honest representative and guardian of the people, according to the best of my judgment and ability. So help me God. I do solemnly swear that I will be true and faithful to the state of Vermont, and that I will not, directly or indirectly, do any act or thing injurious to the Constitution or government thereof. So help me God. I do solemnly swear that I did not, at the time of my election to this body, and that I do not now hold any office of profit or trust under the authority of Congress. So help me God. I do further solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States. So help me God. Congratulations.
This legislative session, as chair of the Finance Committee, I'm going to be working closely with the Education Committee to try and get a handle on the school funding, property taxes. My domain will be property taxes, but we need to work hand in hand, and I've already talked to the chair of Education. So that'll be our primary focus. We're also going to be working on energy costs. We started last year trying to find a way to help lower income, especially elderly Vermonters, afford their electric costs, and we're going to be looking at that issue. We'll be working in the periphery of global warming, but definitely working in anything that has to do with energy or energy regulation. And in the end, we'll also be working on broadband, cell phone, wireless, to make sure that we're in position to be economically competitive in the future.
Well, certainly a more streamlined statewide property tax. I mean, it's not understandable, and I think all of us in Vermont want that to happen. And I think there's a great concern about the unfunded mandates coming from the federal government that takes money out of the wallet of the local taxpayer. And we have a new Congress that will take a new look. I think locally in central Vermont, we've got to do our very best to combat the drug issue, and I know that that Barry in particular, the mayor and the council in Barrytown, all the people are concerned about in central Vermont, and we'll try to help out on that. I think it's oh, by the way, in attending the Barry City School District and Town School District, there was concern about having to lose their LPN, which was so helpful to them. And of course, I understand $44,000, so I'm working with the health people to find out if an LPN has worked faithfully for 12 years and has been a credit to the community, why couldn't that person, in a sense, be grandfathered so they can continue, and that the Barre City and then the Barre District can save $44,000. So that's of great interest. I think the health care is a very important issue, but before the Catamount is not even started yet until September, and we shouldn't bury Catamount before it's born. So I think also we're ready. I've heard from many people in Central Vermont, Barre and Montpelier, and surrounding towns. We're really ready for a 4-year term for governor. And the other thing is that to keep our citizen legislature, we're going to have to make some changes. Now in Maine, they organize their legislature in December, have a one-day organizing session, and so everyone knows their committee in mid-December or in December. And if legislators know their assignment in December, they're much better prepared to carry out their work in January. As it is now, we sort of waste the first week, and of course the first week costs the state about $175,000, so there's a good cost saving. But it's increasingly difficult to recruit people to run for office, and I think that we should make it possible to let people know how long the session will last. So if we have strict crossover deadlines and adjourn in a timely way, I think the people of Central Vermont and the people of Vermont will feel very good about that.
Well, I think everyone's different when they enter the building. Everyone has their role. Some people it's fairly progressive, and they sponsor a lot of bills, have a lot of ideas, and want to accomplish things in that way. And there are many of us that sit back and kind of react to the bills that come in and debate them as well. I mean, we all have our ideas of what we want to accomplish, but many times it's preventing maybe some bad legislation from happening, maybe as important as promoting new legislation. Well, I think, and you can go to a number of different areas. The hot topic, of course, is property tax, and there's no easy fix to that. As we've seen over the last 100 years, there's been different formulas that have been used, and it's not an easy task. But I think we have to look on the spending side as well. We can't just look on how we formulate the money or how it's derived, but how we spend it is as important. Other areas, transportation. I sit on the transportation committee. I think that's going to be very important as well. How we can utilize the dollars. We've fallen so far behind with our infrastructure that really it's coming to bear now. That things we haven't done in the last 20 years, and money that has been diverted for other purposes. Now everything's worn out, and bridges need to be replaced, and roads need to be fixed, and we haven't kept up, and we don't have the money to do it all at one time. So we're going to have to look at some of the big projects and decide whether those should move forward. I've always felt that we need to fix what's broken first, fix what we have before moving forward with new initiatives, because we certainly can't afford everything. We're a small state, 650,000 people, and we have to live within our means.
Well, thanks for having me on here. Awful glad to be back. We all worked hard, and it's been to get back to where we were this year. The dynamics are going to be a little bit different this year than they have been in the past. However, we expect to have a good session. We are going to put emphasis, as the speaker said earlier this morning, on agriculture, property taxes, as well as many other items that will interest us. Economics is going to be a big factor this year, as well as creating more business for our children to stay here, so we don't export them so much. We hope to have a better way to fund education, so we don't rely so much on a property tax, and make it so that property tax is not a measure of our wealth anymore. So with all that in mind, and we all more or less came on the same promise to our constituents that we go ahead and we work on these items, and that we will work together. I'm sure that we can all work as a group here, and that we can accomplish what we set out to do, and which is to better our life here in Vermont. But thanks for letting me talk to you today, and it certainly is my pleasure to be back, and I want to thank all the constituents that voted for me, that put me on. And please believe me that I represent everyone, not just those that voted for me, but everyone from both sides. It's my pleasure to do it. Love my city, and I want the best for it, and I want the best for its people. So thanks again for letting me talk to you.
I don't know what committee I'm going to be on this year. I have been on appropriations the last 6 years. I believe that property tax reform is going to be the biggest issue of the session. There's no question about it. Transportation is another one that I think will be. Global warming. There's a lot of things that are on the horizon that we're going to be involved in. How much I'm going to be involved in any of them at this stage, I don't know. As I said, I have changed my position as far as my committee appointment goes, and I haven't received from the Speaker what that will be at this time. So I'll definitely work on behalf of the citizens of the City of Bay Area, which I'm here for. I think the biggest one is going to be property tax reform, school education. There's no question about it. I think that's the number one. But there's other things that are definitely are important, and they'll be. They aren't finished with the health by any means. There's some areas there that they've got to do some more work on. So.
Thank you. First, it's Pat McDonald, and I first just want to thank everybody from the Washington 3-3 district. I am very honored to be here at the State House today and to have been sworn in. It's something that I have wanted to do for years, and here I am, and I owe it to you. So I do want to thank you. Don't know if any of you saw the article in the Times-Argus the other day, which kind of outlined the things that I'd like to see happen this year. Certainly, I'm very supportive of technical education, whether it be through our schools, apprenticeship programs, public-private partnerships with employers. Also, clearly, healthcare is a huge issue, as well as taxes, not just property taxes, but taxes, and how we need to take a look at what we're paying for, how we're paying for it, and make sure that we're not putting such a burden on all of our taxpayers. I'm also very interested, certainly, in continuing to work locally on the Select Board in Berlin, but also work closely with the Barre City Council and other organizations in the area so that I understand truly what the issues are, so that I can come here and hopefully do some good for all of us and for the state of Vermont. So thank you all very much. I appreciate it.
Okay. Basically, I'm hoping that we follow up on the healthcare proposal that we passed last year, and basically, I would love to see a bill similar to the one that I introduced last year on hospital care be taken up by the committee this year. We certainly have to look at the tax burden that people are paying, no question about that. I'm very interested in what we'll do in terms of the environment. Vermont Yankee is coming up for relicensing, and at this point in time, until somebody can prove to me that we can get rid of that waste properly, I'm just very nervous about that whole situation. Right now, we're storing that waste in casks right here next to Vermont Yankee. And to me right now, it's a disaster waiting to happen. So we got to do something about that. I would love to see something done in terms of economic development. Other than health care, I believe if we pass a good bill in health care again, that will help in terms of providing an economic development tool. But I really think we need to be pushing very hard to bring businesses in to the state of Vermont that provide livable wages. I also feel that we have to support businesses that are here now and help them grow so that they can provide livable wages. So basically, they're the things that I'm looking forward to in this session coming up. Healthcare is number one with me. There's no question about that, because that permeates everything. If you buy a can of tuna fish, you're indirectly paying for healthcare. The cities and towns are burdened with it. The school systems are. We've got to do something about controlling the cost of healthcare. And I'm hoping that the healthcare committee takes that up, and I really hope they take up my bill and pass it.
Well, first, I think we have to remember that I'm in a distinct minority here. The Democrats are going to be setting the agenda, so we're not really exactly in the driver's seat, but there are some definite themes that I heard when I was campaigning. One of them certainly is property taxes and the cost of education, and I know everybody's interested in that question. That's certainly going to be on the agenda. And I'm looking for a revision to the property tax system that people can understand, so that when they vote on a school budget, they know what the effect is going to be on their taxes. I also want some definite ways to control the cost of education, because right now I think cost of education is pretty much out of control, and Act 6068 is a cash cow. And it's generating more money than we need, so we keep cutting the tax rate, but we still keep paying more in taxes every year. So there's something wrong there. That goes along with another thing that's on a lot of people's agenda, certainly on mine, and that's the business climate and the ability to bring good-paying jobs in and hold our young people here in the state of Vermont. The demographics, when you look at the trends over the next 20 years, are absolutely frightening. And we're looking at a situation, if we don't do something about it, where we're not going to have enough working people to support the retired people and to pay the taxes for all the services that people have demanded and have been adopted over the past few years. I also have some local issues, some things like getting the downtown Barrie Main Street fixed up. That was supposed to be done in 1996, and it's been put off and put off and put off, and whether I'm on the Transportation Committee, which isn't likely, I'll probably be back on Human Services again, but I don't know that for certain, or wherever I am, I still intend to pursue that issue and work for the Barrie area. I represent Barrie Town, but I think Barrie City and Barrie Town are one community, and I think what happens downtown certainly has a lot to do with what the people of Barrie Town want to see. Certainly we've seen some things with respect to crime in the area that I think we're making progress. We need to continue to make some progress, and I think we need some legislative help there. So those are a few of the things that are on my mind for the coming year or 2 years.